Paul, we all obviously sympathize with the point of view that if the labor market's worse than we realize, you might want to cut half a point. But the data that we've gotten seem okay. I mean, the jobless claims data alone would seem to tell you there's no major cyclical problem here.
I think that's right, which is why I think the best way to describe what the Fed's doing now is completing the normalization process. They took off 100 basis points in 24. After tomorrow, they'll have 75 basis points this year. 175 basis points is a lot. And it's taken us from a very restrictive stance of policy to where I think we will be tomorrow on the outer suburbs of the neutral neighborhood, not slightly restrictive, which has been the refrain from the Fed with the last two cuts. But I think tomorrow they will say effectively, we have completed the normalization process to the outer suburbs of neutral. Doesn't mean that this is it. But once you get to neutral, there's no longer a presumption that you're going to move at every meeting. And I think that's where we are, outer suburbs of neutral.
Well, you always put your finger right on it, Paul. And so today I noticed that, and he's been saying this for some time, but Larry Lindsay, who was briefly in the running to be the next chair, he thinks we're already in the downtown of neutral. And if I remember correctly, he said, neutral is about 1% for a real rate. Core PCE is running at 2.8, and the Fed funds rate is somewhere around 3.8. Is that right? So he thinks we've already arrived at that place, and he's not so much in favor of continuing to cut here. He points to the bond market, where yields are up 20 basis points in the last week or two, as one reason why. And look at what's happening today. We see silver jumping, crypto's jumping. You do wonder if that's a reaction to kind of too much liquidity.
It's a conundrum, to borrow a phrase from Alan Greenspan, in that if you look just at financial conditions, look at the state of Wall Street, look at the top half, the income distribution, you can make a cogent argument that we are at neutral or maybe even accommodating. But when you look at Main Street, and particularly the bottom half of the income distribution and small business, then you have to conclude that we're still restrictive. So essentially, that K-shaped economy is befuddling everybody because there's not one natural neutral rate for the economy, and the Fed only has one, too. So I think we've got very legitimate, honest debate about where we are in the neutral neighborhood. Is it the suburbs or downtown? But the big message is that we've moved from the restrictive neighborhood towards the neutral neighborhood. And I think that will be the essential message that Chair Powell will deliver tomorrow.
Steve, jump in here.
Well, my first question, Kelly, is how come you never have Larry Lindsay on when I agree with him?
Oh, I didn't realize that was the case. Larry is, I don't believe, available right now, but I'm sure he's watching. And if you're ready, maybe. Larry, then we have a spot for you tomorrow, Wednesday, anytime. Tomorrow is Wednesday, I think. Go ahead.
No disrespect for Paul, but if you do a little bit more math, like I'm sure Larry has done, a 3% inflation rate with a 3% neutral gives you a 0 real rate. And so, we're getting close now to 0, to a really what you would consider a stimulative policy. And picking up on Paul's really intelligent remark when it comes to different rates at different parts of the economy, you have this screaming investment for AI right now. And that demand for capital would tend to raise the cost of capital. And yet you have this other economy essentially being left behind and forced to fight over the crumbs that are out there, the small businesses that don't get those kind of rates, individuals having to. So it's a real conundrum for the Fed trying to serve the entire economy with a single rate. My answer to all this is, I think what Captain Kirk did in one of those tests he did, he's not going to play the game at all. I think the Fed should have waited, and it's going to get a lot of data next week. Now, I get why it's going to meet. I get why it's going to cut. That makes sense to me in terms of, well, the greater risk looks to be on the job side. But I would sure want to see all of the data, the inflation data we're getting next week, the jobs data we're getting next week, to understand just how weak is the jobs economy. It's interesting to me, Kelly, the amount of confidence that Fed officials have in running the economy based on the alternative data. I report it every day. I don't have the confidence to make a call about what's happening in the economy on the alternative data. I get a feel for it, but I'd sure like to see the official data before saying this is what the Fed ought to definitively be doing. And just one other point, which is I would sure not want to be putting out forecasts right now based with the absence of 2 months of data.